Brahman. This is a continuation of the previous video, Definition of God. If you haven't seen that, stop now and watch that first. Be warned that this is a complex topic and be prepared for your mind to be bent. We started with the concept that God created the universe, Ekarupa Ishvara. Then we progressed to the statement God became the universe, Aneka Rupa Ishvara. We moved on to saying God appears as the universe, Arupa Ishvara. We also postulated that God must be outside space and time. The Vedas dig deeper into this topic. The universe is full of matter, but some matter is sentient and conscious, and some matter is inanimate and unaware. As our experience shows, matter is inert. How does some matter become sentient? As we saw earlier, the Vedas declare that consciousness exists separate from matter. This all-pervading consciousness, or Brahman, enlivens us through our subtle bodies. René Descartes famously said, "I think, therefore I am." Similarly, any conscious being is aware of itself. No other validation or proof is required. Even if I am suspended in deep space with no other matter near me, I am aware of myself. I myself am the proof that I exist. Consider inanimate matter. If no consciousness is aware of that matter, it is as good as the matter not being there. Inanimate matter needs to be validated by a consciousness for it to matter. Pun intended. If inanimate matter exists without any consciousness aware of it, it is as if that matter does not exist at all. Therefore, the Vedas say consciousness is a higher order reality than inanimate objects. We can say that consciousness is independent reality and inanimate matter is dependent reality. Popular science maintains that consciousness arises out of matter. That is, matter is the cause of consciousness. Something happens in some matter that causes it to become alive and become sentient. Let's take the case of humans. We grow, we become aware of our surroundings, we can act with free will. Then something else happens and life leaves the body. No one is completely sure why. Science tells us that's because the internal organs have lost the capacity to sustain life. The Vedas make an astonishing counter-statement about this topic. The Vedas say that matter arises out of consciousness. This is also consistent with the earlier observation that consciousness is the independent reality and matter is dependent reality. Let us suspend any disbelief and first try to understand what the Vedas say. The Vedas say that space is one type of matter most similar to consciousness. So let's take a look at space and its properties by examining an example of a room. First, we see the room and say, there is space inside this room. But then we see that space is inside the room and outside the room. In fact, the room is in space and not the other way around. Space pervades the room. It is there in the walls, ceiling, and floor of the room, and beyond the room. So too does matter exist in consciousness. Before proceeding, let's review the definition of causal or potential state, karana. An oversimplified way to understand this is to view a seed as the causal state of a tree. The tree is present in the seed in potential form. A block of wood is the potential state of a wood carving. You are the potential state of the future yourself. The potential or karana form encompasses all possible states. Before the universe, there was only consciousness, technically called Brahman. But we see that the universe was also present in potential or causal form simply because Brahman has the capacity to manifest as the universe. This potential form of the universe is technically called Maya by the Vedas. So the consciousness Brahman combined with the potential form of the universe, Maya, became the universe as we know it. Consciousness Brahman plus potential Maya manifested as the material universe, which is called Ishvara. Therefore, consciousness or Brahman is the cause of the entire universe. Therefore, we can say consciousness or Brahman is God. This is the final definition of God that the Vedas offer. Brahman can be described as the following: all-pervading, outside space, therefore formless, indivisible, eternal, outside time, therefore unchanging, imperceptible to human senses, always the subject, cannot be experienced as an object, without any attributes like color, etc. And finally, Brahman enlivens every living being in the universe. This concludes the Vedic explanation of God, Brahman, and the universe, Ishvara. The next video in this series will discuss the self.